Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades in the weekly recap. Before I get into the video, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of the social media account. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I finished the week with 14 wins and 0 losses, so I had a 100% flawless week. I'm very, very pleased about that. This month is turning out to be pretty strong. First week I did 100%. Last week was 85%. This week's 100%. So definitely starting 2023 strong. Happy about that. Monday we had off because of Martin Luther King Day. So we'll just get into the trades now. Tuesday, trade ideas room. I said, let me just make sure everything's working correctly. Yeah. SPY puts into 397. And this is Friday right here. It had a run up on Friday, even though the market was closed. Futures were open. It was dropping, dipping a little bit. We had a nice, pretty big run up on Friday. It's dropping through futures. So when pre-market came, I was like, okay, we're going to take puts under 397. It didn't really drop that much. Put in a red candle. What I've been doing is I didn't wait for the level to break. I didn't even break over here anyways, but what I've been doing is for a long time is if the first 10-minute candle, when the first minute candle forms, I will usually take a play on the ORB, which is opening range breakout or breakdown. In this case, I was looking at puts, so it had made a red candle, and I took puts on new lower day. So I grabbed a 39.80 puts at $7.50. It went against me almost immediately. I decided just to hold it and see what happens, but when it broke higher day, I grabbed calls right here at 10:22. Why did I grab it at 10:22? Grabbed it right here. Okay, I get why I grabbed it here. I didn't grab it here when it initially broke out. So when it had this strong green candle, I thought I bought it here, but no, I bought it right here. I had this little doji right here. And what SPY likes to do is SPY likes to have these large green candles. Then they'll have a small candle or even put in a red candle to get to show exhaustion and to get the shorts kind of like eager and jumping in prematurely, and that's when you end up having a stronger push. So I grabbed the 40-20 calls at 680. And then went from 680 to 780. It did break out quickly, then it just got shot down. So it got a small move out of that. I still was holding my puts from down here. I did average down at 1030, which is right here. There was news that came out. I don't remember what the news was. No, I don't remember what the news was. I know there was news about something. Maybe it was about the debt ceiling. I don't remember, but anyways, right when we had this red candle right here, I ended up averaging down my puts. I added more at $1.85. In fact, I think that when I had the 17th, I'm looking at my exits on the 17th. No, I didn't even get any at the. For some reason, I thought maybe I sold some puts right here, but before it went against, but no, I didn't. Let's see, get back to the trade ideas room. So yeah, when we had this news drop and this red candle came out, like I said, I don't remember what the news was, but I remember it was news. I did average down at 185, bring my average down to 325. I'm not sure what I had. I think I had like 5 contracts, and I ended up adding like 15 or something like that. The opening plays, the first 30 minutes of the day have been so tricky and difficult to play just because it's just been chopping or having lots of fake outs. And usually the market likes to do this once in a while, but sometimes we just get nice continuation plays. But lately, the last couple of weeks, the first 30 minutes haven't really been that fun to play, so I don't go in that heavy. And when you start recognizing when markets have these little short-term cycles of doing certain things for a certain period of time, you end up either staying away from them or playing smaller and playing the first 30 minutes. I've been playing small, and I used to play very, very heavy in the first 30 minutes because it used to be the best plays, but lately they're just not it. You got to adapt with the times or just get left behind. So we had the news drop. I averaged down. My average was 325, and they went from 325 to 620. So they went almost 100% right there. My average downs have been pretty spot on all week long. I don't know why, but if I end up holding a position and I think it's still going to work out, I will wait for the perfect time to average down. I won't average down just for the sake of averaging down. I will wait for the perfect scenario to do it because I actually want the average down to count and work and not make a bigger hold than what I already have. So I really try to be patient as possible and average down at the correct times, and that's what I ended up doing. So then I ended up taking puts again at 12, which was right here. It dropped down, bounced off the 200 EMA, and it went up to VWAP and rejected. Now, I've been trying to stay away from VWAP rejections the last few weeks because when SPY gets to VWAP, it's been doing strange things. Instead of reacting as support or resistance, it's just been steamrolling right through it, and they've been having huge moves. And so I've even played quite a few times playing calls through puts and calls through the VWAP because the moves have been so strong. But right here it rejected. I did grab the 4,000 puts at 970 and got a rejection right here. Thinking also that you get a head and shoulders, you get the left, you get the head. A rejection here would be a nice right shoulder. So when it rejected, I grabbed the 4,000 puts at 970 and they went from 970 to 1450 and that drop right there. Then I grabbed calls at 1252, which is right here. Now this is the part I was thinking, okay, it did not break lower day. It came back up. I made a slightly higher low. Then when it broke over this 398.20 area, that's where I grabbed calls. I grabbed the 39.95 calls at 7:30, and they went from 7:30 to 9:50. It dropped, and when it did fail to break lower day, and it came back up quickly to VWAP and chop up underneath it. That's where I was like, okay, it's gonna push through VWAP. So it did end up pushing through VWAP. Had a nice little play there. Not much of a play. The plays have been very, very, very weak moves. So definitely got a $2 move out of that. I mean, if you're not taking a $2 move on SPY, I mean, you need to really start thinking about changing what you're doing because you need to take the base hits and not the home runs. The chances of you hitting a home run are going to be very, very, very slim. You'll end up losing 90% or 95% of your plays just trying to get a home run than it is to just to take the 50 cents to $1 or even $2 move, take the base hits, and you'll end up doing a lot better. So they add up really fast. And like I said, that you should take notes on the setups, the plays, the time of day, and adjust your size to that because it does change all the time. Size will definitely matter on, like I used to take size like I said earlier, I used to take size at the beginning of the day, the first play of the day, first 20 minutes of the day. Then I used to take them big at the end of the last 15-20 minutes of the trading day. But end of the day plays have been weak and the morning plays have been weak. So the best plays have been mid-morning and mid-afternoon as of lately. So you just gotta make mental notes of what's working now, and what is working now may not work in the next couple weeks. So you just have to always make mental notes and adjust to it accordingly. So the last play of the day was puts, the 39.95 puts again. At some I took them at 347, which was right here. As you can see, it's made a high right here, and it flushed through VWAP. I didn't touch that, and it came back up through VWAP again. This is what I mean. It just flushed through it, then it popped through it, then it came back through it, then it started making a descending wedge right here. As you can see, it's making a lower high right there, and it's flattening out at the 397 or even 398. So once it gets below 398, I grabbed the puts. The 39.95 puts at 680, and they went from 680 to $10 right there. So ended up being a good little play. So that was Tuesday. Now on to Wednesday. I only took 2 plays. Traded ears room on the 18th. SPY puts into 398, which is right here, right at the low of this candle. This was morning news. I don't remember what it was. So the first play of the day, I had 4,000 puts at 1019, which was right here. 1019, right here. Right in here, I think. I think this is where I grabbed it. Yeah, I got grabbed in this candle. Stayed away. It started the pop. Then it came back down. 10 o'clock news. Don't remember what it was. Might have been home sales or consumer sentiment. I don't remember what it was. Maybe this was the day that, let's see, the 18th. What happened at 10 o'clock? On the 18th, nothing. I don't see anything on the calendar. But yeah, this was pre-market. This was PPI, retail sales. So yeah, it popped up, then it came back down and broke the 398.50 area, which is the low of these candles. That's where I did grab the puts, the 4,000 puts at $8, and they went from what, 8 to 10. Then it popped up, then it just dumped right through here. I wasn't sure whether to take it here. I should have, but I ended up catching this move right here. But I didn't take that. I just was not expecting this move to happen, especially when you have been doing this. It's just been holding low a day. This is how they end up catching you all the time, is because they have these huge range days, then they have a small consolidation day, and you think it's going to be another big range, and it's not, and you get used to the small range, and it's put in a small range right here, then it just flushes, and you don't really want to chase, and I just didn't. So I waited until I only took 2 plays this day, so I got the puts early at 10:19. Then I grabbed calls at 146, which is right here. Right here is where I grabbed calls. I grabbed the 39.50 calls at 750, and they went from 750 to 850 in that little push right there. So I grabbed it here, 400 to 392. That's an $8 move. Why did I pick it there? Oh, you can see right here, support right here on the hourly. It's a pivot. You can see it's resistance, support, and support. So that's why I grabbed it right in here. So also, you can also see a bullish divergence going on. You see the low here, making a lower low, and histogram is going up. I always look at the histogram divergences, because they end up being the most important ones. And as this was rising, price was going down. So I was waiting for some green candles, green candle, and then I ended up taking it right here. So ended up being a good play, and I only took 2 plays that day, and I could have taken more. I probably did in my challenge account and stuff like that, but I don't really cover my challenge account plays or IRA plays. I just focus on the option plays. So only 2 on Wednesday. Now Thursday the 19th, trade ideas room. See, we had this massive down day and another short range right here, which is what, 391 to 388, $3 range. So that day SPY calls over 390, because after we had this massive drop, I was thinking we were going to get a push. 390 is right here. I waited for the first 2-minute candle to form, and it did the same thing from the other day right here, where I grabbed puts for continuation, then it just ripped the other way. This did the same thing on me right here. I grabbed calls, 39.25 calls, 840. And in fact, I remember selling some, because I remember one of them I sold. Yeah, I sold some at 9. because right after I got in, I went from 8.40 to 9. So I sold some at 9. I think I had 5. I think that I sold 3, and I had 2 or something like that. I don't remember. But anyways, yeah, so that's what ended up happening. Then I switched to puts right after. As soon as it broke lower day, I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 38.90 puts. I hung on for my last couple calls and thinking that, okay, just in case this ends up being a fake out, which it ended up being. So, but anyways, I held on to my last couple calls. I wasn't too worried about that, but it broke lower day. I grabbed the 38.90 puts at 7.50, and then went from 7.50 to 8.50. And just this whole 30 minutes, I mean, same thing there. Same thing here, and the same thing here. Just the first 30 minutes, it's just been a chop fast misdirection. It's just really difficult to trade. Usually when you get a green candle, you get strong momentum at the opening, you get some more continuation, and you just, the last week, it just hasn't had that at all. So you get the green candle, get just a little bit of a push to get you in, then it just slaps you in the face. So I did grab puts right here, hung on to my call. So I got out of the puts. I grabbed puts again at 11.26, which is right 11.26 right here. I don't know why I didn't grab it here. I probably had it in my IRA, or not IRA, but challenge. But drop, came back up to VWAP. See, it's respecting VWAP now. This whole week it's been respecting it because besides right here, because this was a news event, rejected here and held support right here. So this past week it actually respected VWAP more than it has in the past few weeks. So I rejected here. So when it broke the lower day, I grabbed the 38.90 puts at 8.30, and they went from 8.30 to 11.50. Got a nice little play out of that. Then I took calls at 103, which is right here, right here. Now, I don't know why I did not average down on my other plays, my other 39.25 calls. I think that I just wanted to get something closer at the money. I don't know what I was thinking at this point in time. I definitely should have averaged down here and got out, but I didn't. I grabbed a new play. I grabbed the 36.900, the 3.900 calls. I grabbed the 8.30, and they went from 8.30 to 12.10 in that push right here. So I got a nice little play out of that. As you can see, it rejected VWAP. I rejected it again. It pulled down again. I pulled back a little bit. Then when it came back to VWAP for the third time, that was a huge high probability that it was going to break VWAP and have a strong push, and it did. That's why I grabbed it. That's why I always say anytime it rejects the area and it drops and it comes back quickly, it's going to end up breaking most of the time. Not all the time. Nothing in trading is 100%. Just make a mental note of that, because trading is just that. It's just probabilities. And when it does reject it once here, rejected twice here, dropped and came back up quickly, it's going to probably more than likely push through it pretty good. And that's why I grabbed the calls for that push, and it got through. And then at 2:15, as you can see, rejected higher day right here, pull back and quickly came back to higher day again. Same scenario as this one right here. Rejected, came back quickly, pushed through. Rejected higher day, came back quickly and popped through. Now, I didn't grab new calls. Instead, I ended up averaging down on my 39.25 calls that I had at the beginning of the day. I only had a couple, and I added, I think, 8 to make it 10, I think. I'm not 100% sure. My memory's crap. So I'm just guessing. So I averaged down at 2, making my new average at 330 on the remaining position I had. So they went from 330 to 430, 440 right there. And that little push, I was able to get out of the rest. I have a very nice little push at the end of the day breakout. So anytime you see these, end up being pretty good plays that reject higher day, pull back, and come back at it again. So I could have taken something closer to the money and probably gone probably 50%, maybe even 100% play on that, but I just wanted to get out of the last couple calls I had at the beginning of the day. So that was my Thursday. Now Friday, I only took a couple plays. Traded his room on Friday. SPY puts on the 388, which was right down here, pre-market low. It averaged down for a nice round number. Never got there. nice big red candle. Didn't break lower day. I took calls when it broke higher day. I took the 39.20 calls at 9.52 is right here when it broke higher day, and they went from $8 to 10.70. So a $2 plus move on that play. Then you get this red candle right here. This is what I've been talking about. You get a strong play, you get this little candle, red candle right here to get puts lured in. Then they pop it again, red, and pop it. So I grabbed calls at, I didn't grab calls here. I think I grabbed them maybe in my IRA. I don't remember. But that's the thing that's the hard thing when you're doing these recaps is that I've got my IRA plays and I have my SPX challenge plays. And when I sit there and look at, okay, why didn't I take this? And I got to keep reminding myself that I'm playing other accounts too. So, yeah, I probably grabbed that. But anyways, it's consolidating right here. Then news dropped. And this is where I remember calling out that this was going to be a tricky area. That they were either going to pop it, they were going to do a fake pop and flush it to get all the calls in, get everyone loaded in calls, then actually dump it, or they were going to dump it to get the puts loaded and then stop them out and then just rage on them. So that's what ended up happening. You got to think like a market maker, because what they're trying to do is they'll pop the price to get everybody in calls, and once everybody's on the call side, that's when they'll flush it and make the move and stop everybody out, and they'll miss the move, or they'll drop it below the 391.75 area to get everybody in puts, which would have been a nice little scalp play if you were fast. And they'll get everybody loaded in calls puts. They'll get everybody in puts thinking we're going to have a nice little drop. And then they just pop it. So that's just the way the market makers like to work. They like to mislead, and the purpose of them doing this is to steal your money. You just got to always remember that market makers are not your friends. They're nothing but dirty scumbags, and they want to take your money. So just always remember that the market makers want to steal your money, and you got to think like a thief. So that's how they do things, and that's exactly what they did right here. So I grabbed calls right here at 12. I grabbed calls at 12:20. Right here. I grabbed calls right there. I grabbed calls at 1:33. Yeah, I grabbed calls right here. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I grabbed calls right here, and it popped. So I'm getting ahead of myself. For some reason, I just thought I grabbed the calls there, but no, I grabbed it here. And I do remember, I got them at the 39.35 calls right here, thinking it was going to break out a little bit, because it didn't. It chopped around, and then when it did this right here, this is where I actually got out. They went from $8 to $8.20. I mean, they went red quite a bit. I held on to it thinking, okay, that we were going to get out. Maybe I got out here. I don't remember. I have to look at the see where I actually got out. Let's see, where did I actually get out? At 103. So 12:20 is where I got in. So I got in here, and 103 is that's exactly what I did. Yeah, right there. I got in here, went red, and when it finally went green, I got out, and then it flushed it right there, doing the little scenario I was talking about. Then when it broke higher day, 133. Yeah, when it broke at the higher day of 392.30, that's where I grabbed the same calls at 39.35 calls at 6.40, and they went from 6.40 to $16, and that's what I called it a day. So you got to always pay attention to these little consolidation areas, especially when it's like this. They like to do the little mind games and trick people and stuff like that. So always got to make a note of that. So yeah, that was Friday. I was not expecting a huge run up like that. I mean, I was expecting, maybe 393, 394, 393, 393.50 is exactly what I was kind of thinking, but I was not expecting it to do this. That just kind of surprised me a little bit, but I ended up just calling it a day after I had this play right here. I was like, okay. Then I realized I didn't have any losses for the week. I was like, okay, I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm going to call it a week. So, But yeah, good week. I know I rambled a lot in this recap, but anyways, it is what it is. You get the unedited version, unfiltered version. So that's going to do it for the recap. Hope this has helped, and thanks for watching.